Oh, the effects mic's working here, Ronnie. 33 plays 63. Tassie Hodson, 5 goals the difference. How can Bannockburn, well, obviously they've got to get the first couple, but how can they do that? How can they get back in the game? What about Andrews to centre half forward or something? Something to line them up in the forward line.
Yeah, you've got to do something different, get the players thinking about something. But if I was coaching them, I would have set them a goal to try and get back up to Mottawarri, get within a goal in the 20 minutes. Spend 20 minutes doing that. Don't try and win the game in the first 20 minutes, but give yourself a chance, and then who knows what could happen in the last 10 minutes, you know. But I think, you know, they've been in this position before, they've got over this position, but the grand finals are a different kettle of fish. You just pull a little bit more out, and, you know, I think Mottawarri will hold on. Okay, Ronnie, last year we saw Darryl Raybottom go berserk in the last quarter for Eastern Suburbs, and Mick Thompson, a few of them. They were 6 or 7 goals down three-quarter time. Same position as Bannockburn. Maybe not, maybe worse than that. Now look, can Bannockburn do the same as Eastern Suburbs did last year?
Yeah, Bannockburn will kick 8 goals this quarter, Cookie. But I'm not happy with Horniblow at centre half forward. I'm not happy with that. He should be in the goal square. Andrews is not on the ground either. But we've got Butcher in the middle.
Okay, bounce down, up they go. Oh, the big fella Pavlik knocks it down brilliantly. They've got it straight out of the middle, Mottawarri to half forward. They've got the mark as well. Darryl Russell's taken it. The kick was long out of the centre of the ground. Kel McLean, I think it was. Long one, Darryl Russell drifting in from the side. Hey, Taz, if he kicks this, what chance Ronnie's 8 goals then?
Yeah, I think it's all over if he kicks this. I think Mottawarri will get on a bit of a roll. The adrenaline will start flowing, and you'll be heading out there to help him celebrate.
And the Dowser knows it too. It's an important kick. He takes his time. He comes in on the left foot. He goes for goal. It's a long bomb. It's a goal. Russell kicks the first goal of the last quarter, and I reckon the Warriors are going to win one, Ronnie.
Yeah, it looks pretty much like that, Cookie. Now 36 points, pretty big ask for the Tigers.
Nice looking stop. Bit of a skinny leg there. You don't bump into a post or something there, so that could snap, I reckon, that leg. We better get you on the match spuds through the winter, son, through the summer. And come down and play cricket with the Anglesey. Get Bissett running you around the packs down there, running around the hills. He makes us run. Well, 42 for Christ's sake. I can't run uphill at all now. But Dowser could do with a bit of work on those legs, but a great goal, an important goal in the final quarter. And it's back to the middle, and Pavlik's a chance.
Yeah, and he's done very well here today. Well, Pavlik, he's eclipsed the bigger men from Bannockburn, and GDFL Bingo centre final quarter scoreboard shows that Mottawarri's 9-15 now, 69, eclipsing Bannockburn 49-33.
Back to the centre, Pavlik goes up, but Butcher been brilliant. A ground level kicks back. How's this bloke gone today? He's beaten about 3 opponents so far, might be 4 or 5 by the end of the game. Sean Phillips takes the mark. The general at centre half back takes his time, does Sean. The wild Irishman, he must be glad that war's over there, Ronnie, because he played brilliantly today. Out he goes towards the centre wing, knocked away from Berryman. He goes back after it, it's kicked away from him once again. Butch Shaw's out there doing. They want about 5 Butch Shaws, Bannockburn, at the moment, because he's played a sensational game for the Bannockburn Tigers. Unfortunately, he hasn't had enough support at this stage of the game to put Bannockburn in front of the scoreboard, which shows 33 plays 69.
Certainly, Cookie. Just waiting now. Boundary throw in. Butch Shaw
still on the ruck work now.
A whistle on play. He'll get the free kick, I'd say. No, it's going to go to Andy Goff, an infringement behind the pack. Must have been shepherded out of the contest, and he'll get the free kick.
Goff now. He's just forward of the centre wing position. And look, he's wondering where to kick it. Now he goes on the right boot. The kick in short. Getting back there, Shane Cooch. Well, what a game he's played, Rod.
And 50. Bit late.
50. What do you think of that one, Taz?
Yeah, a little bit late on it. He certainly took the mark, and the Bannockburn player certainly deserved the 50-metre penalty. Akuta,
well, some of the Mottawarri supporters I spoke to last week think that he's a bit loose sometimes. I reckon he sets the play up out of the back, but he takes a punt. He has a try. That's why they're in front, Mottawarri. They've been prepared to take the chance and have a bit of a dip and something different.
Certainly, and the Akuta, a long bomb to half forward. Up they go, lovely Mark Gary Tillman back at the pack. Chips it over quickly. Butch Short, centre half back, does it comfortably. Play on, son. No, he don't, because Moose has now taken the mark.
Went well over the mark. This could have been 50. Wosley's off. For Mottawarri, having a bit of a rest. Now, what's he doing now, Butch? He's in a bit of trouble. He got the hand pass away towards Gary Tillman. Goes back and gets it. Gets one in the back. Umpire said held into him, and I'll ball it up. And, well, I can't blame Butch Shaw for that. He's trying to do something at least, Roddy.
Yeah,
trying to set something up.
Yeah, certainly. And, well, he's got a harder goal, Butchie Shaw. Bounce down, a good one at that. Now we see Gary Tillman do well. Gets it down, Wentworth tries to break the tackle, but flattened by the big Moose. And it's again pretty tough stuff out there at early stages of the final quarter of the Division 2 94 GDFL Football League Grand Final. And, well, a bit of a day of upsets here today, Cookie. 36 points the margin, Mottawarri.
Bounce down. The ball is knocked towards Christian Shaw. Away, Clinton Shaw, that is. There's two of them out there. He goes, but McLean takes the mark. He chips into the forward pocket. Wood had the hands on it. McGuinness gives it across nicely. Russell straightens up. Oh, left foot kicks a shocker. Bouncing. Goes out of bounds before, but Silly and Paul Wentworth can gather it in front of the Red Rooster sign. And the boundary umpire, I want you to watch this, Taz. It's his big day. The boundary umpire, he's on the ground. Let's watch this throw in. It's late in the stages of the final quarter. The important one for this young boundary umpire. Put it up high, son. And he didn't. He give the ruckman every chance to go for the ball. It's knocked down the Woodman. He goes on right foot. It's an up and under kick out to half-back. Tillman in front. Over the top, Harvey. Might have been a free kick to Tillman against Ronnie Stoop. That time hand on shoulder.
Yeah, good call, Cookie. Gary Tillman now just getting Pursuities down. Needs to move it quickly. Horniblow comes out. Pushed in the back. No, said the umpire. Head down. Can't mark it like that, Horniblow. As Big Walter. Get out of my way, Jamie. As he comes through, but he's kicked it straight down the throat of Gary Tillman.
Jeez, if he's coming at me, I'll get out of the way. He wears size 18. He's about 6'4", about 29 stone. Pilgrim takes the mark at centre half back. This is Ron Pilgrim. Been a battler all day too, Ronnie. He's had a bit of the footy. Tumbles the punter. Shocking kick. He kicked it to three players. Berryman could have marked it. Let it go, and Basili takes the mark in the centre of the ground. Wants to play on. Touches it on the ground, if you don't mind. Gives it across to the big fella Bird. He kicks the ball awkwardly towards half forward. The hand pass from McGuinness comes back here. Oh, kicking it, Harry. Not a good one too. Here comes out of defence Gary Tillman. His kick's a shocker. Ronnie, the pressure's got to him. And the mark is taken at half back.
Yeah, not looking very convincing at all, Bannockburn at the moment. And
no.
The Moose, he's breaking clear at half 40. He can kick a goal from here if he wants to. But he didn't take enough time and really line it up.
He would have had to hook it back with the left foot like I hooked my 3 wood off the tee, Ronnie. I think that, but he was running towards the fence. He hooked it back a fair way, but not far enough. And he's been a serviceable player, Taz.
Yeah, been a good player, the Moose. He's been a good player for a few years, but I think Russell's the one who stood up in this second half. I know you talk about the Stoopy and these guys have been good players, but when it's counted, Russell certainly, every time they went into the forward line, it come from him.
Special comments from Tassie Hodson.
Okay, Paul Wentworth takes the ball from the full back. He kicks to the centre of the ground, and advantage paid. Yep, Colliger interfered with. Goff tries to break the tackle. The high one, though, on that player against Jeff Stiles, and yep, Goff now drives Bannockburn into attack. The kick pretty ordinary, and Pat Jackson takes the easiest of chest marks at centre half back.
Here goes the jet out wide to Basili. Just ducked the head a little bit. He probably had to would have worn one if he hadn't. And all player in trouble out there for Bannockburn. 7 minutes gone. The Rockies 24-hour locksmith time clock as Basili from the defensive side of the centre wing goes just over the centre wing. Not a good kick, but it's all right because the Moose grabs the mark at centre wing. Goes the widest arc you've ever seen on that left foot. Up he goes. Tillman's up high. Punched away by Stoop. At ground level, Hovey. She's been a good player today. He knocks the ball further afield with a little toe poke. Here comes Wentworth. The tackle's sensational. It spills to Stoop. Stoopy straightens up. He goes for goal.
It's all over.
It's a big night at the Mottawarri Ground tonight, Brady. I tell you what, they are home. They've lost 2 in 2 years. Tassie, they've got this one.
Yes, I was lucky enough to beat him in one, but they've certainly got this one, and good luck to Cook. He deserves it too. He's had a pretty tough time, but he's stuck at it. He's had him in the grand final 3 years in a row, and that's a good effort on its own, and they're certainly going to run away with this one now.
Here's the Moose on screen with Carl Dew. The Moose, he's got the widest arc I've ever seen, Moose. He actually should have a bounce when he goes onto that left foot. Here's Roddy Stoop. He's kicked another one. He's got his second, I think, of the day. And it's back to the centre. Mottawarri 76. Lead Bannockburn 4-9-33. Disappointing day for the Bannockburn Tigers as the ball's back in the middle. And here goes the bird.
I think Russell's been flattened behind play. Now it's Paul Mooson.
The Moose is down. Well, it's not hot out there. He couldn't have fainted, Ron.
Yeah, and Mick Wood's going to fix up Carl Dew.
And he is going to fix up Carl Dew too. It is on.
Little McGuinness is having a go now.
McGuinness is having a go. He just gave us Ned Kelly twice as silly. He's got one from Dew. In goes Wood with the right hand. Dew with the left hand lead. Woodman comes in to claim Michael Wood. not particularly happy with the attention that Paul Mason has received. And the trainer out there to Carl Dew, time to go back into the play. We'll follow the footy now. The ball's gone to the centre of the ground. Here's a chance there. That might have been McLean, was it? Up and under with the right foot, kick towards half forward. Wood at behind, should have punched on that occasion, and Woodman takes the mark in front for Bannockburn. There's been a little bit of that out there this afternoon. It's a grand final, Taz. You've got to win them or wear them.
Yeah, Moose is wearing that one alright. He looks like he's going to come off the ground, but I'd say in a couple of hours' time, he won't feel a thing.
Okay, the ball's gone to Wentworth, who's got the advantage there from Flanagan. Down the ground he goes, Wentworth towards half forward. Jet Jackson is there. The Jet's got it. The hand pass over the top's all right. It's all right. It's the Cooter. The Cooch goes towards half forward. Here, Berryman is it in front, taking the mark. Yes, he's played very well, this boy Berryman on the wing. He's had a sensational game.
Yeah, he certainly has. Owen Berryman, good player for the Mottawarri side.
Girardi on the ground now. Side. As we wait now, ball chipped short.
Oh, look at the Moose. Jeepers, creepers. No wonder Michael Wood wanted to square up.
Yeah, he's copped the couple.
Oh, I tell you what, I don't know if he's copped the couple, but he's copped one rip. Doesn't look too good. I tell you what, he'll drink it through a straw if he has to. Won't worry him tonight. Here's the ball in the forward zone here. Mottawarri get the hand pass back to Stoop. It's all right too. The hand pass there came from the number 18 Guernsey on the ground.
Russell!
Girardi into Russell, who's taken the mark. Good to see Girardi get a run. Ronnie, I was wondering if you were going to get a run. He got the job last week at tagging Stewie Scott, which is the most unwanted job in GDFL Division 2 footy. Didn't make a great fist of it, but tried hard. Now here he is, he's on the ground. He's got the ball to Darryl Russell. And let's see if the Dowser can drill this one through.
Well, 10 minutes have gone to the final quarter. Mottawarri 10-16-76. Bannockburn 4-9-33. Margin 43 points.
It's stirring stuff at the Western Oval. It's stirring stuff as Russell goes long with the boot in the goal square. A chip and under. The Bryce Basili, the man with the silly name, has kicked the goal. Oh, they've gone berserk out there. Mottawarri, have a look at them. The cameras go. There's Steve Cassidy. How happy is he? There's Wosley in there. There's Stoop. There's Russell. Oh, they're all in there. And Basili kicks another one. And Mottawarri, they finally going to taste the sweetness, the nectar of success.
Yeah, good on them. Good on them. They've done it very well here again this afternoon. And, well, as you said, they've been bridesmaids for a couple of years now. And, well, David Cook deserves every success he gets.
Yeah, he certainly does, and that's that man Russell again. Probably one of the top 3 best players in this competition.
4-9-33, Bannockburn, Mottawarri 11, 16, 82 points on the John District Footy League. Big goes in the scoreboard, the final quarter. Bounce down back on the setup, too many players on the ball. The more the umpire agrees, I'm going to ball it up, he says. I'm going to get a breath. Brain, put the fag out of your gum and call a bit of footy, son.
Okay, Gilmore umpire, but throws it in the air. Pavlik gets it out the direction of Coots, who puts a good tackle there on Butch Shaw. Got it to Roweth, who's quick kick up the half forward. Sees Matty Pilgrim an opportunity. Can't mark it, but he chips it back. But Jamie settles there.
I like his game, Ronnie.
And played very consistent here. Goes inboard, and Bryce Basili takes it at half bag.
Mottawarri have had the run since quarter time. Here comes Basili. He goes out wide. Puts Shaw up in front, pushed away from him. Might get the free kick or the mark. The free, I think the mark's been paid. He has to go back behind the man on the mark. The free kick, he might have been allowed to go on, Ronnie.
Well, yeah, Cookie, and
13 minutes gone. Rocky's 24-hour lost mid-time clock.
Okay. Butchshaw hesitating, wasting too much time. He needs to get the ball moving. Doesn't matter, Pavlik.
Oh, the big fella. He's nearly burst the Sharon. He grabbed it that hard. And he fell on the bloody thing too, so it's a pretty good 40, I can tell you. Big Wally. Look at the kick. He has kicked magnificently today. This is no exception. Up they go. No mark taken. Ronnie Stoop at ground level. Hand passes all right. No picture me. Here comes Berryman over the top. Here comes Girardi. Girardi long hand pass into the goal man. Wosley. Wosley. Wosley goes wham. Wosley goes wham. Wacko. Wacko. The little arrow, says Wosley. It's another one on the board. It is an avalanche. Mottawarri are home.
And a few aches and pains are starting to come out to the Bannockburn players. Travers limping, and it would be a very bitter feeling for the Bannockburn side, who have been clearly the best side in it all season, and now looking down the barrel of losing the Premiership Cup.
And I don't think they're going to kick those 8 goals you're looking for, Ronnie.
They haven't kicked one yet, Ron.
They'll be lucky to kick one.
Yeah, I don't think they will score either.
Haven't kicked the goal since half-time, and Butchshaw kicked the fourth goal after the half-time siren. Here's the big fella Goffers at knocking the ball forwards. Up goes Phillips, knocks it back to Winston Cambers, kicked away there. Here comes Coots in the back pocket, he comes out of it, backs his judgment, does Coots, and gathers outside the 50. He kicks the ball towards centre wing, up goes Rowett, can't quite hold the mark on that occasion. Butchshaw grabbing the back of the thigh muscle there. It's out of bounds as Rowett gets up, feeling not too well either. And little Berryman gives him a push away, adjusts the hat, and Berryman has been an integral part of this Mottawarri Premiership side, Ronnie. He has been very, very good on his wing.
Yeah, certainly has, Cookie. Up they go, down she comes. Good work again, Ty. Kick it up and Coots does well, runs it straight out of bounds, and he'll be happy to see the ball be thrown in. Time clock ticking away. 15 minutes gone to the final term. The 94 Grand Final Division 2.
Pavlik there, number 19 in screen, so too is the 55 Guernsey there of Bryce Basili. Shane Weeks, number 10, standing him. Boundary umpire, Goff doing the ruck. He's 45, over the top comes Butchshaw, he's 69. One of my lucky numbers, gets it down to Weeks, he tumbles the ball around on that left foot, into the forward pocket. Phillips takes no chances, knocks it away from Johnny Tillman. Sean Phillips has been sensational at centre half back. He's beaten 2 or 3 opponents and has not missed a beat.
Correct. Good call.
15, almost 16, 15 and a half minutes gone. Rocky's 24-hour locksmith time clock. Tassie, been a great performance from Motta, hasn't it?
Yeah, it certainly has. They've taken a bit of punishment here in this last quarter, but they're certainly going to go home with the Premiership Cup and a well-deserved one.
And there's Friday. He's one of those players you don't see much of, but his opponent never seems to do much. Friday knocks the ball out wide, gets it out to half back, and stack on the mill out there. Henderson's in there for Bannockburn. It's a ball-up decision, and that's the correct one. Pat Jackson out there, he's been a bit of a live wire too across our back, run pretty hard at the footy. The umpire balls it up.
Yeah, the big fellas fly. Pavlik again, but he's put it straight down the throat there. I think you'll find of Flanagan as the bouncing ball now into the corridor. Opportunity for Bannockburn, but no, said Shane Friday, because it's my footy, gentlemen. Oh, lovely mark there from rough Robbie House Henderson. And
there's
there he is.
Looky! Here is Cookie! He looks a happy man, Ronnie Brain.
He certainly does, and a job well done here this afternoon. Did his homework. And
here's Henderson now. Right foot kick, long one by Henderson. Players raise, Tillman's up, can't hold the mark. Cooch goes back and shovels it through, but a rush behind.
Okay, time clock just ticking away. Looks like Walter Pavlik is going to bring the ball back in.
This has been a great tactical move. Pavlik kicking the ball back in.
It certainly has.
Because look where he kicks this.
Gets a lot of
Have a look at this. And has gone 65 metres without a shadow of a doubt.
And the other thing is he's always there for the rebound too, if that happens to come back.
So, quickly. Yep. Good coaching move. Here comes Girardi. Bit of pace. He should have some pace. All the other blokes are tired. He's just got on the ground. Dummies the hand pass nicely, does Andrew Girardi. The kick not quite so good though. Getting back Carl Dew. To the boos of the crowd goes Dew, and he goes out wide.
Okay, I don't think he'll be getting a Christmas card from the Moose Smith.
Yeah, he's not very popular out there, but they've put Mick Bird on him, and I don't think he'd try the same trick on Big Mick.
The ball's gone back to half forward. Here comes Siddle. He's going to get a free kick. Gee, I've been impressed with this game. He's not going to get a vote, but Jamie Siddle, hang your head very high, son. You've been an integral part of this, as is Berryman on the wing. He tips the pass into the forward zone, and Russell takes the mark.
He's an opposition coach's nightmare, this man. I can assure you of that. Yeah. And we were lucky in the grand final. 5 minutes into the game, he went off with a shoulder injury.
I remember that, Taz, yeah. And the umpires got you the rest of the points. I remember that too.
That's the one. nothing to do with the 9 months hard work previous, but never
mind. Nothing at all. The umpires got a lot of money that day, and they...
I'm going to have another one of your cans for that.
Okay. There's plenty of cans of Coke up here. No worries about that. Here comes Russell. Can he kick another one for the Warriors? It's a bit of a rampage. He's drifted this across to the right-hand side. Coach's nightmare, kicker's nightmare there. Look at those legs. They're very spindly. How they can propel him around the ground like they do, I don't know, but Dowser kicks a minor score.
And Ron Stoop, he timed his return to Mottawarri pretty well. He was a member of their last premiership side. Well, it's that 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah, certainly a veteran of many
almost lost his leg, Ron.
Yes.
In a shocking accident.
Yes, a shocking accident at work, and fortunately for Mottawarri, he's been able to recover. There he is, speak of the devil.
But sure, got the ball again. He got it going again for him.
Played very well.
But Stoopy, as you say, there he was. Up they go to the forward zone. Russell across the face of the pack, can't hold the mark. He's not got the ball by Travers. Here comes Shaw. Hand passes out wide towards half-back flank position. It's gone out out of bounds. We have gone 17.5 minutes on the final quarter of the Rockies 24-hour locksmith time clock. The scoreboard shows 4:10:34 on the board. The Bannockburn, they've been the best side all year, but not today. Because Mottawarri have got 10, 12, 10. Oh, sorry, beg your pardon, they've got 12, 17. That's 89 points.
Yep, astounding 29 shots at goal to 14, and there's one of the reasons. Big Walter Pavlik taps the ball out. This time it's sharked by Wayne Colliger, who chips it over the top. Looks to the very lethargic Johnny Tillman. Can't trap it, but Stoopy can. Sells the dummy nicely. Johnny Tillman's very, very stiff and sore. As
Lovely kick from Stoop.
Lovely work. And oh, Gary Tillman has just flattened Mick Bosley, and it is
the book's
off.
out, and here goes Hovey in just to square up a bit here. And, well, wouldn't expect that of Gary. Frustration, Ron.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
Not his go, you know, he's just so disappointed. And Pavlik's in there, and someone threw him over. It must be McGill the Gorilla or something put him down. You wouldn't believe it.
Yeah.
And a bit of a dust up and a bit of push me round, and Henderson's in there too. And Michael Woods telling him to keep right out of it, Hendo.
And, well, Cal McLean up there looking for Dowser Russell. He's got it, he runs into an open goal, Dowser! And has kicked it! It's all over now, nothing left to say.
Oh, with all the ruckus going on, didn't worry Kel McLean. The Dowser kicks another one. That's his third for the afternoon. Here's the boys on screen. There's Berryman, there's Wood, there's the big fella. Who's that boy there? That's the big fella too.
That's the birdie.
Big Bird. His number's a bit distorted there. And so too there's the number 18 Gerard. He'll be enjoying this. This is better than Tag and Stewie Scott, Andrew, I can tell you.
I'll tell you something on 3WIR last night. Carl Fickett said if David Cook plays, I'll shave my head. And if you blokes think he's the best player to Darryl Russell, I'll shave my head.
Oh, there you go. Well, you must have been watching the first
You
half.
better start shaving.
Out of the centre they come. Pope Bully Pavlik's got it again. Bundles it out wide. 34 place 94 on the Junior Bell Bingo final quarter scoreboard. It's into the forward zone. Here comes Wood. He's taking the mark.
Coming back to Rowan.
Yeah, pretty soft.
It was pretty soft.
Free kick to Rowett. They're all just throwing the hands around there and getting underneath the Michael Wood looking for 50. Rowett now drives the ball out wide. But sure, who else would have it out there? I tell you what, I bet Bannockburn wished they had about 7 Butch Shaws. He has played a great game, hasn't he?
Certainly has.
Love to see his stats, Ron.
Enormous. Long bomb up the half forward. The high flyers right at the back, punches it down. Coots does well. Cop one a bit high too. Yeah, a little one, a little tap to the side of the head there, and he'll get the free kick. And the reliable defender has done a great job for mine. Gets another possession.
He'd be pretty happy too. I think Ronnie played in 2 losing grand finals with Anarchy. 2
That's
at
right.
Mottawarri. Geez,
Yeah.
I reckon every footballer deserves to play in a grand final. And good luck to him.
22 minutes gone in the final quarter. Rockies 3-hour locksmith time clock.
Down the half forward it goes. The punch was from Wosley. Knocked it away. Here comes Shaw. Out of defence. This is the other one. This is the left Shaw. In he goes. Well, towards centre wing, and Corey Flanagan chips in and takes a nice grab. Looking to move the ball down the half forward. Looking there for Horny Blow. He's up. He can't take the mark. It's knocked away at the last moment. The ball's out. Here's a race. Look at this. Pavlik might take his 3 minutes to bend down. He picks it up and he charges straight through Woodman. Throws it in the air and puts the foot on it as well. Well done, Big Wally. Sensational. But he's kicked it straight at the man at the moment. Put Shaw, who gathers it half back. Half forward it is. He chips it in towards centre half forward. Coots goes up. It might have been. No, he's been paid the mark. Jeepers creepers. If he held that, I'm holding my pen in my hand. He got it out to Glenn McLean. He takes the mark at half back. He chips the brace by Silly. And the Silly man takes the mark short of the centre wing.
Plays on now too, and they're very keen, Mottawarri. They really want to rub their nose into the dirt here. And Ronnie Stoop takes the footy at centre half back. Now, looks to go to the outer side of the ground. The lead from Berryman, a good one. And there's one of my better players there this afternoon, Owen Berryman, with a lot of courage, takes the ball at centre wing.
His kick goes towards Michael Wood. Too much carry on the footy. Wood comes steaming back after it. Knocks the ball further and further towards Russell. It goes off the legs of Rowett. Is it out on the full?
He's been paid a trip, Boogie.
A trip, is it? To Michael Wood. Now he's deep in the right forward pocket on the far side of the ground. The outer side of the ground, that is. Scoreboard shows 34, place 95. Michael Wood proudly wearing the number 4 Guernsey. Found his niche this year as a full forward. Preparing to have a shot for the goal mouth.
No, he's not. Why you're looking at the scoreboard? He passed to Hovey.
He's had a kick. Well done, Woody. He's a mate of mine, Woody. Actually, here comes the box. He'll have a shot for the goals. He's a true rover. Anywhere within 80 metres, he kicks. He has kicked. Watch the kids come out. They all say it's a goal. Yes, it's a goal.
There's 10 goals down there.
Oh, Hovey kicks his. Is that his second, Ronnie?
Yes, it is.
Thank you very much. Light your fag, have a cough, don't die. We're going to do another game tomorrow, son.
Well, I'll tell you what, they've absolutely stormed home. They've kicked, let's have a look, another 6 goals this quarter, Mottawarri, and Bannockburn are goalless.
Haven't kicked the goal from after the siren in the second quarter. At half-time,
Unbelievable.
Butch Shaw kicked a magnificent kick after the siren and kicked their fourth goal to give us some hope, but since then it's been all Mottawarri.
Maybe it's the reason they haven't got a full forward. Have a look at their back forward line.
Shane Coote standing in the goal square. He's got no one within 60 yards of him. Here comes Matty Pilgrim. Oh, he's out there. He got the hand pass away. Bannockburn back towards Carl Dew, who they're going to call him Boo-Hoo or Boo-Dew or something here, I think, Mottawarri. They don't like Big Carl. He's a tryer. He takes the ball. He punt kicks towards half-back. No one can take a mark on this occasion. At ground level, Gary Tillman's worked hard all day. Got it back there to Paul Whitworth. The kick was charged down by McLean. It rebounds towards Wosley. He's got too much pace for the big fella, Dew, and Bird pushes him up just as well because he was going to flatten the youngster there. The kick into the forward line not too good. That looks like Woodman taking the mark at full back.
Yeah, Wayne Woodman, try two for the Bannockburn side of this afternoon.
An effective push from Mick Bird on Carl Dew there, Glenn.
Very much so.
I think
he's
should
kicked
thank
it out. Oh, Girardi's copped one. And Ronnie Pilgrim put his hand up and said, oh, yeah, I did the wrong thing. No 50-metre penalty. Girardi, oh, lovely footy. Vasily. Well, it's just an absolute cakewalk, isn't it?
It's unbelievable, Ron. They've just been far too good. They've had 31 scoring shots to 14, and since half-time, Bannockburn have added 2 minor scorers.
There you are. Well, Bryce Vasily, he's kicking from around about 35 metres, directly in front. The drop punt, he's hooked it lightly. Well offline.
2-3 on the board to Bryce Vasily.
Look, he'd be disappointed with that.
I don't think he'll drag him. I think he's played all right, Bryce.
They've hit the stunt. 14-18, 102 Mottawarri, 4-10-34 Bannockburn, and I tell you what, the Warriors will be running rampant this evening. GDFL Bingo Centre, final quarter scoreboard.
4-10-34 to 13-18, 102 on the GDFL final quarter bingo scoreboard. And I tell you what, it's been a great win to Mottawarri here this afternoon. They'll remember this for many years to come. They'll play this tape at all the reunions in 10 to 15 years, Ronnie. And that I can just see Steve Cassidy walk around the boundary line. Good on you, Steve. He's the runner for the Mottawarri club. With the ball's in the back pocket. Mottawarri player might have laid a high tackle there. Play on's the core. Bird runs in. The big bird! The big bird is bird at the goal! You wouldn't believe that! A free kick was played to Mottawarri. Play on, the player stopped. The big bird, who moved at about 1.7 kilometres per hour, went around no one and kicked the magnificent goal from 12 yards out.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's kicked 2 today, the big fella, and a job well done, Michael Bird. 15-18, 108 points, Mottawarri. They're absolutely creaming Bannockburn, 4-10-34. GDFL Bingo Centre, final quarter scoreboard. Don't forget to give the Bingo Centre a call on 218-484, because I'll tell you what, it's pretty popular stuff out there at the Bingo Centre.
I reckon it is, Ronnie. Up goes Pavlik, knocks to the ground. Here comes Stoop. He's got my votes. He goes down long out of the centre towards Russell. He can't take the mark of Travers at the back of the pack. Gets a little kick in. Is it out on the full? Tell you what, not much going right for Bannockburn. Murray Travers usually don't muck them up. Just the good tackle at the time. Swung him around a bit as he kicked it. It's out on the full. Can we get a shot of this? There's 2 blokes walking past. Put them up here for Ronnie Brown. If he can't eat all them in 3 minutes, I'll go eat. There is 47 pies on each tray down here in front of us. We can't get a shot of it, unfortunately, for the viewers. The ball goes back out where the mark taken by Pavlik. Here they are. If Brainy couldn't eat them in about 17 minutes, I'll go eat, Tash. Don't walk past the front of the van with food in your hand. Here's Travis trying to get a kick. Whitman it was. Little one out to Butch Shaw. Here comes Shorey. Played a great game.
That's certainly something different. Normally you get champagne. The Mottawarri boys get a pie after the game.
The kick's all right. 2 weeks has given the player a free kick, though. Had a poor day today, Shane Weeks. I've seen him play some good games today. He's not one of them. He's given away the free kick, and it goes out there. Does that settle out there?
I can't help but think that Daryl Julian might have had something to do with those. What do you reckon, Ronnie?
I'm sure of it.
Okay, I'll stick with with a footy. The hand pass from Ron Pilgrim back to young Shaw. His kick is a short one, marked by Matty Pilgrim. Gives it back to Ronnie. Here goes Ron. Runs to half-back and kicks towards, well, just over centre wing. Haunted by the target. Phillips uses the fist to great effect. Ooh, nice little tackle off the ball there. Here comes Coots. Juice been good. Hand pass out wide. The Cooter gives it across to Jet Jackson. He's got all the time in the world. No one chased him, so he straightens up and goes on right foot towards half forward. Birds up, can't mark. Does the Rovey. Well, might have thrown it away in the tackle for mine. The umpire says, Cookie,
on the ball.
You are correct for a change.
Very good indeed.
Kick out of Bannockburn. The ball's gone at Gary Tillman.
Yeah, plays on quickly as Gary, 2 through centre half back. Long bomb to centre half forward. Well knocked away there, Jeff Styles. Good work now to Hovey. Has a bounce, steadies, looks to centre half forward and was silly. Quick hands to Wosley, who flies the shot at goal from 45, but he's well offline and he's missed the woodwork completely.
He won't get a game next week. That's a point money out the full he's kicked.
Well, there you are. I don't think it really matters at this stage. Just about siren time. We've 30 minutes gone on the Rockies 24-hour locksmith time clock.
The ball comes out towards Woodman at half-back. He should take it in the post mark. He left it behind. Hovey, she's pretty good player today, the box. He straightens up, he runs onto the right foot, and he's kicked it. He has kicked it unbelievably badly.
Yes, he's
That is an awful kick.
Bit tired. There's the moose.
I guess it doesn't matter.
There's the moose on the boundary line.
He's being held up there by my mate Steve Cassidy, the runner. The moose isn't too good. He's trying to get on the... I reckon he's got concussion for sure. Doesn't look too good to me, Ronnie.
No, he doesn't. Well, the ball's at centre half back, and there it is. It's all over. Mottawarri Premiers 1994.
Bannockburn, 4 goals, 10, 34 points. Have gone down to a rampaging Mottawarri Warriors side who managed 15-18, 108 for the afternoon. The goal kickers for Bannockburn, the defeated, the vanquished goal kickers were Ronnie Pilgrim 1, Gary Tillman 1, Shane Andrews 1, and Butch Shaw 1, and they didn't kick one in the second half. Mottawarri's goal kickers. 1 goal to the widest arc turner of all time with concussion, Paul Mason. 1 goal to Mick Bosley. I've got 2 goals for Brace Basili. 2 goals for the big bird, Mickey Bird. 2 goals I've got for Ronnie Stoop. I've got 2 goals for Troy Hovey. And I have 2 goals for Michael Wood. And the leading goal kicker of the day was the Dowser, Darryl Russell, who kicked 3 magnificent majors for the afternoon. Tassie Hodgson. What about this Mottawarri performance? Started favourites 2 years ago. Started favourites last year. Started ranked underdogs this afternoon. What about their G&T effort to win this game at the Geelong West Oval this afternoon?
Well, I disagree that they were the ranked underdogs because they, through the middle of the season, they got a lot of injuries and they were in a lot of trouble. And like I said before, at half-time, they had to work pretty hard to get to where they are today. They still went out on the ground with a very, very good side as far as I was concerned, and I thought they might be able to take this one off. But I think the last 2 years is the big point here. It's not like they've come along and just won this in one season, and the amount of work that David Cook has put in and to just keep coming back. He had a lot of knockers, but he stuck at it. And I think the thing people forget is they've played in 3 grand finals, and that's an achievement on its own. And I think that, I think a lot of people should take their hats off to Cookie before they look at the players on this occasion, because it was a tremendous effort. Russell, I don't care what you say, was fantastic, and I reckon they missed him after Hoodie done the job on him last year halfway through the game. They missed him when they played us. He went off the ground with a shoulder injury. Today they were lucky to keep him on the ground all day, and I believe that he was one of their main players. Also, Mick Wood has been a find from us at full forward, and that's something, they lost their full forward last year. He's certainly been a bonus for them, and I think their preparation was obviously spot on. I think this mob, Bannockburn, they missed it. They'd win in the second semi. Might have, a couple of blokes with injuries didn't play for probably 4 weeks. Some of them, Matty Pilgrim and these guys.
Corny Blow and also Robbie Henderson.
You can't go into a grand final without preparation. See, with the final 4, if you can play those 2 games, come out without injuries, it certainly hardens you up a little bit, and that's certainly, I think that's what's happened to this side today.
Taz, just while you're saying that Michael Wood let's recognise his performance this year at full forward. He's been a target. He's been a spare parts player there for 2 or 3 years, sometimes in the twos and sometimes on the bench, and then a ruckman for 1 quarter and a full back for another, a centre half forward for another. He's done a good job. You mentioned the missing full forward. His name was Brady Bertelsmeyer, who played last year. I've got the ones in the ins and outs of last year's grand final side for Mottawarri, and for the Mottawarri guys that might remember, here's the trivia question. Who were the players that didn't play this year that played last year? The players that didn't play, the votes, yes, we'll do those in a minute. Thank you, Ron. The missing players this year, Neil Smith, who had a bad injury throughout the year, might have played in the reserves, or I think he did. Actually, Ray McPhee, who retired, Dwayne Welsh, who was a good defender for them for years, Hamish Gorth, who's left the district, who was a terrific player. He'd love to have been here today. Brett Bertelsmeyer, of course, as you mentioned, the full forward who kicked the goals from last year. And Danny Mortar, who played a great game in the twos here this afternoon. And, of course, Philip Walsh, who Graham Hood somehow got rid of last year towards the end of the game and cost them dearly. The new players for Mottawarri this year in their winning grand final side were Ronnie Stoop, Dale McGuinness, Jamie Siddle, Big Wally Pavlik. How'd you like to wash his jumper, Ron? On a big machine. Shane Friday, who's been a very effective fullback, Jeffrey Stiles and Mickey Wasley. They're the ins and outs. So that'll be a trivia question when they have their reviews and reunions and everything, Ronnie.
Yes, certainly, Cookie.
That'll be a trivia question. Who are the 7 that didn't play that did?
Okay, the hardest part of all, gentlemen, I think Sean Nolfatty would like to know, because we've got to get a plaque out of the car.
Okay.
And my votes, before I do go and get it,
yes.
I gave 1 vote to Shane Coots, 2 votes to Ronnie Stoop, 3 votes Sean Phillips.
Okay. Tassie, your votes, please.
Yeah, I gave 1 vote to Shane Coots. I agree with Ronnie on Sean Phillips. Sorry, I mean,
yeah, you're right.
Ronnie Stoop 1.
Stoop, 1 for Stoop.
Phillips 2. I thought Russell was the best.
And 2 for Sean Phillips, and that old Russell gets the 3 points from former premiership coach Tassie Hodson. I have gone for 1 for Darryl Russell, 2 for Shane Coots, 3 for Ronnie Stoop. So we've got Ronnie Stoop with 3, 5, 6 points for Stoopy. We have got, can't read my own writing here, that is Sean Phillips. We have got 5 points for Sean Phillips. Shane Coots has picked up 3 votes. Darryl Russell has picked up 4 votes. So it would seem that the best player on the ground, as judged by the guest video commentators, is Ronnie Stoop, who picked up 6. 5 points went to Sean Phillips, and 4 points for 3rd place has gone to the Dowser, Darryl Russell. And I've got to give... Okay, Noel, just give me those votes. Just hang on a minute.
Yeah. Best on the ground, Ronnie Stoop. They're certainly well rewarded, and a good effort here from the Mottawarri boys. They're celebrating at the moment. Just waiting for the main presentations to get underway. Here we see the big moose. He'll be a happy man. He looks a bit out of sorts, but he'll certainly recover and enjoy the next few days. Getting the congratulations from the supporters. Certainly a lot of Mottawarri supporters out there. Been waiting a long time for this present.
Because there's the moose, he doesn't look too good. I just had a bit of a chat to him. He's a bit dazed, the old moose. He doesn't know where he is at, I think.
Yeah, he doesn't look 100% there, but I'm sure, Noel, that over the next few days he'll recover and come back a better man.
I would say he'd be recovered by 8 o'clock tonight, wouldn't he?
Yeah, it won't take long. A couple of serves, a Panadol, and away he'll go.
Guest video. Thank you very much, Billy. Good afternoon to you all. Unfortunately, there's only one winner of grand final day, and Danny Byrne been a great side all year today, just couldn't produce their form of the season. The Mottawarri have won the grand final of 94 in Division 2, and congratulations to the Mottawarri Football Club. We have an award here for the best team player of the afternoon. That has gone to the Mottawarri player Shane Coots, who was decided by the commentators by a great game.
He did do a good job, didn't he?
Now I know Cooter, I won't give him the microphone. Take it there, Cooter. That's from Doug and Julie Pikeman, great supporters of the GDFL throughout the year, and also supporters of guest video. Oh, it's a bloody beautiful win. This is like taking me 6 grand finals to finally get the bastard. And we have! And I'd like to thank the team, they played champions. Woo! Well done, Cooter. He played a
Well, it
couple
took him
of
6. Gee, that's a long ball, isn't it?
Okay, one vote today went to, I've got to read my own writing, Darryl Russell of the Monterey Footy Club for the guest video commentators. He gets the guest video tankard, and I'm sure, Dowser, that you'll fill that up a bit later on. Right, okay. On behalf of the Monterey Football Club, I'd like to thank everyone for the year. Really great win, and it was a team effort. Thanks very much.
Yeah, very, very good up the ground. He was half-forward line. He was very effective, wasn't he, Taz?
Yeah, certainly someone kicked it.
Sean Phillips, 2 votes. Great performance in defence. Nullified 3 or 4 opponents at centre-half back, and a great game today.
Especially his third quarter. His third quarter was fantastic.
Thanks very much. And the best player on the ground is judged by Ronnie Brown and myself up there, and also Tassie Hodson, who receives the guest video tankard, and also the magnificent plaque here from Rocky's Locksmiths out there at Karaya Village. Bit of a tough vote today, but we go to the old bloke who come back from a very bad leg, Ronnie Stoop.
Ronnie Stoop, tough and hard at the ball and set it up early, Taz.
Yeah, he certainly did play well all day. Very experienced player to have out there. When you look at one of the guys who come in from last year's side, you wouldn't ask for a better player, would you?
Thanks very much, David. I'll now call on the umpires to come forward and receive their medal.
It'll be interesting to see the umpires give best on the ground too.
Certainly.
I don't know why, but it'll be
First of
interesting.
the umpires is central umpire Darren Gilmore.
Okay.
They didn't do a bad job.
Darren Gilmore, no, like they did quite a good job.
Central umpire
Pretty tough game to
Johnny
umpire.
Zampatti.
And Johnny Zampatti, who ran with Darren Gilmore here this afternoon in a very tough physical
Boundary
Division 2
umpire
grand final.
Tim Drew.
Timmy Drew, boundary umpire.
Boundary umpire Andrew Haynes. Goal umpire Trevor Cromer.
Good on you, Trev.
Oh, Trevor, the warhorse of goal umpires.
Yep, the fat man of football. Great
Goal
job.
umpire Mark Evans.
And Mark Evans getting his medallion for another good job for the Geelong Football Umpires League.
I'll now call on the VCFL Regional Director, Mr. Don Kyle, to present the VCFL medallion for the best player as voted by those umpires.
Give a shot of that bloke there.
The recipient of the best player as voted by the umpires is number 8, Shane Coote.
Cooter, good on you, Shane Coote. Best down ground by the umpires, Cooter.
Well, we went far out with our votes there, Ronnie. We had him running actually 4th, I think, but 6 votes to Ronnie Stoop, 5 to Sean Phillips, 4 to Darryl Russell, and 3 to Shane Coote, so it was very
The
tight.
Victoria's Club. The first player to receive his medallion is number 2, Sean Phillips.
Sean Phillips, say no more. Centre half back, unbeatable. I thought I gave you 3 votes for an unblemished game at centre half
Mick
back.
Wood.
Yeah, Mick Wood also, he spoke about his season's been fantastic, and he was a fantastic option for him up there today. No two ways about that.
Looks pretty happy, Mickey.
Number 7, Darryl Russell.
Well, what a game he played. As Taz said, after half-time he was sensational. He played well before half-time, but he'll enjoy this. He played in a couple of losers. He's played in a winner
Number
today.
8, Shane Coote.
Shane Cootes, well, I gave him a vote today, Cooter, and he won the guest video best team player last week and won it again this
Number
week.
10,
But he's had a
Ron
great grand
Stoop.
final series.
Ronnie Stoop.
Yeah, Ronnie Stoop, best on ground from the guest video team. There's no two ways about that. Like you said, he come back from pretty horrific injuries and was an experienced player.
I reckon this was a good move. They sat Hovey on the bench last week for the first quarter and a half, and then he came on and he played very well. He got his spot on the ground today and played very well, and he actually played well in defence, Ronnie.
Did well. Dale McGuinness, well, he added a little bit of bite when he came onto the ground, and just asked Butcher about that one.
Number 17, Jamie Siddle.
Yeah, well, you don't get any bad players in grand finals, do you? And Jamie was, it's been a team effort from the Motowari side, and he was certainly one of those players.
He was effective in defence, wasn't he?
The defence was fantastic in that third quarter.
Number 18, Andrew Girardi.
Well, Andrew Girardi didn't see much till the last quarter. He didn't get around, but he's come on the ground and tell you, your medal needs just as much as the rest of them, Andrew Girardi. Don't worry about that.
Number 19, Wal Pavlik.
Well, the big Walter Pavlik, the big bruiser who dominated the aerial contests here this afternoon and kicked the ball superbly from full back, which was a match-winning move from David Cook.
Shane Friday.
Yeah, good job at full-back from Shane Friday. Transferred over from Anarchy, and he'd be enjoying the spoils here today. Had his opponent taken off the ground. I don't think he had an injury. I think he might have took a shorty.
Okay, Jeff Stiles played in the back. Did a great job today, Jeffrey Stiles. He's one of those unobtrusive defenders, along with perhaps
Number 26,
the other player there we mentioned.
McLean.
Sorry, keep going, Ronnie.
Yeah, Cal McLean, well, probably not as effective as what he has been, but he's still out there working very hard for his side and sets up a lot of opportunities for his teammates around him.
I was mentioning Jeff Stiles along with Jamie Siddle. Both of them work very hard in defence together.
Glenn McLean.
Yeah, Glenn McLean-Mack has been a great player from over the past 3 years. Good little rover, and he wouldn't have dominated, but he certainly did his job. Got a lot of kicks.
Yeah, certainly.
Number 36, Mick Wosley.
Well, he didn't play last year's losing grand final, so it's a bit of a sweet pill for him. Mickey Wosley, winger half forward, come half back. He plays around the flanks and does it nicely. Kicked a nice goal at the right time for them this afternoon. The number 36 jumper up, Mickey Wosley.
Number 52, Mick Bird.
The big bird, well, him and Walter Pavlik absolutely tore Bannockburn apart in the
He's
big
a
man.
happy bloke too, isn't he?
And have a look at him. He'll have a big night tonight, Mickey Bird. Well done, son.
Number 53, Owen Berryman.
Yeah, Owen Berryman was a very good player today. I thought it was a little bit disappointing last year, but today he certainly stood up and a good little wing.
Well, he nearly got a vote off me.
Yeah, he was. He had a really
nearly
good
off me
game.
too.
Yep.
Heart of gold.
Number 54, Pat Jackson.
Oh, did you see that from Owen Berryman? He's done a backflip.
Unbelievable. Let's see him do them
He's
about
been-
12 o'clock
yeah,
tonight.
Been watching the Commonwealth game.
Here's Jet Jackson. Well, he's a tough half. He's a bigger boy than he looks on screen, actually. He's a very tough half back, and I wouldn't let the line up at him, and he runs at the footy hard.
Number 55, Bryce Balzilli.
Bryce Balzilli, well, busy. Kicked 2 goals, 3 today, and set up a lot of opportunities across half forward, and enjoyed a run on the ball occasionally for the Warriors today.
I think the Moose has gone off.
And now,
He's there.
Lazy.
the captain
Always
of the
leave the captain to last.
1994 Premiership side, Paul Mason.
The Moose.
Yeah, I think he went in with the trainers. He's not very well at all, though, Moose.
Okay.
Unable to
We'll
stand
call
up.
on
He's
Ray Harvey to
concussed.
come up and collect this medallion.
Yeah, good game today from Ray. A lot of drive off that back pocket.
Toby, he'll enjoy this one, I reckon, Daz.
Yeah, they work hard too, Ray and
Looky! Here comes Cookie to get the Premiership cap. Tell you what, is he happy? He's got the medal round the Gregory Peck. Bad time for a haircut too, Cookie. The 60s are gone, son.
Ladies and gentlemen, I know a lot of people have departed the game. I'd just like to commiserate with Bannockburn. They were probably... I'm glad you all agree that you do commiserate, but they were a great side all year, and on the day they didn't perform, as was said earlier. But Motowari, you were the best side on the day, and I congratulate you for that. In doing that, it gives me great pride to see these 3 guys up here, especially this little bloke behind me. He works very hard for the club, and you can see he's got sweat and tears all over him. It's Ray Harvey. I'd like to congratulate him for his effort for the club.
There's Toby.
But also, another guy that's really battled hard. He left Anarchy and they won a premiership, and he's been trying to get one with Motowari, and finally he has. I'd like to congratulate him on his effort. Cookie. I'd just like to present David with the 1994 Division 2 Premiership Cup. Well done, fellas.
Neville Whitley hands the cup to David Cook. He lifts it aloft. He lifts it aloft. He company with Bryce Basili. And Monowari Taz have finally got one.
Yeah, and good luck to Cookie, an old school friend of mine, and I certainly
First of all,
think it's well
I
deserved.
would like to commiserate Banning Burn. We know... No. Shut up! No, they've been a good side all year, and they went out to do what they had to do to win. And they have been a good side, but we're better. All right?
No arguments either.
To all the committee and all the supporters out at Mono, thanks very much for your support and help throughout the year. Mainly to all the players, especially the blokes that have been for the last couple of years, thanks for sticking together and a great win. Well done, fellas. And to the old mates up in the hill, I hope that I can come here next week and see Anarchy up here. All right? Thanks very much.
Now, Bryce Basili going to say a few words with Paul Mason.
Boys, I'd like to thank everyone for coming down. Commiserations to Banning Burn, but congratulations to us, eh?
I think Glenn spoke quite nicely there, apart from the toot and whistle at the end.
I'd just like to add Cookie's remarks. It's been a while coming. We probably 12 months later than it should have been, but it's there now, and I'm sure that all the hard work that has been done by the players and the club has paid off, and I'm sure we'll have a good night tonight. Commiserations to Bannockburn. It's probably a pity they weren't out here to see it, but we'll see them again later on. Thanks very much.
Toby Hovey, the president there, long-serving president and now a happy president, Ron.
We'll just ask the Monterey players to do a lap of honour in appreciation for the supporters. Thanks very much.
Okay, well, we better try and see if we can get hold of the Premiership coach if we can too, in that David Cook. And I've been told that I've got to go and get him, but I've got a crook leg. So it looks as though you're closer to the stairwell, Tassie. You're on the job.
I'll grab him as he runs past.
Okay, yeah, there's some of the duty-full executive on screen there too, Ron. They do a great job, of course, throughout the year. Many hours work.
Well, he might try and do a lap of honour with them. I'm not sure how bad his leg is. But, yeah, I think he's going to go and do a lap of honour with the boys. And we'll
He's
catch
going to
up.
run with them, Ronnie.
Yeah, we'll catch up with them later. And
I tell you what, he's at the back of the pack.
we're all having a sip of the champagne.
Yeah, big Mickey Bird there. You want to have a big cup to fill him up, I reckon. Big Mickey, drink him and Pavlik. You want about an 18 each and share the rest of me and run the rest. Hey, there's Big Mickey. Played a great game. Wosley there too with Girardi. So too Friday. Punching the air there. Little fella number 16, Ron, Dale McGuinness. He certainly, as you said, added a bit of bite and a bit of life in more ways than one to the line, but in the Monterey lineup when he came on the ground.
But his grand final footy, Cookie, and you know, at the end of the day, as long as you win the game, it doesn't really matter. And he really just changed it a bit for them and made the Bannockburn players take notice of, you know, who was on the ground. And yeah, I think they started to look a little bit more for Dale McGuinness rather than their teammates. And the upshot of the whole thing, really, it cost them the game.
Well, just see Mick Bird there. He's gradually worked his way right back to the back of the pack. This will be the slowest lap of honour in record. The Guinness Book of Records are watching. We should start timing this. This will be this. They've run 22 yards one way, they've walked 17 the other, and they've stopped. They've said, look, that's enough. I reckon they want to get into the rooms, have a drink first, a shower second, and then probably have another drink, and there'll be a lot more drinks before the next shower on.
Yeah, certainly. I think the Geelong advertised photographers there as well, and it's disappointing that the Moose is not going to be in that photo, but
he's not too good.
A great victory here this afternoon by the Monterey Football Club, known as the Warriors, and a convincing 74-point victory here this afternoon, gentlemen. Absolutely convincing.
Yeah, I think three-quarter time was where the game was all over. I think Bannockburn went through the motions there in the last quarter, and that the scoreboard typifies that. But I think we look at the third quarter where all the real hard work was done, and they weathered the storm.
Certainly certainly did. And
Fellas, whilst we're waiting for Cookie and the boys to come around, we just might mention a few of our sponsors that have helped us out through the Division 2 football season at GDFL. The GDFL Bingo Centre, of course, Bird Cameron Chartered Accountants. Citibank sponsored the GDFL as a body in general. And of course, guest video. Without guest video, none of this would be happening. Queen of the West Hotel, where we do our replays on a Monday night.
Noel, how many do you reckon will be there on Monday night for this?
Monday
afternoon it is, Ron tells me.
I think she'll be a full house. And of course, Ray Edwards, Cryer Village News Agency. Thanks, Ray. And the Geelong Football Umpires League. Without them, we wouldn't be anywhere. And don't forget the one-stop shop, Ron Brain.
Yep, the APCO Easy Shop. That's the way to shop with your APCO Easy
I'll see if I can grab Cookie for you, fellas.
Thank you very much, Noel.
Okay, as Noel goes off to get him, just run through then goal kickers again. Bannockburn, not many. Ronnie Pilgrim 1, Gary Tillman 1, Shane Andrews 1, and Butch Shaw 1. The Mottawarri single goals were kicked by the Moose, Paul Mason, Mickey Wosley, 2 goals to Bryce Basili and Mick Bird, 2 goals to Ronnie Stoop, 2 goals to Michael Wood, 2 goals to Troy Harvey, and 3 goals to Daryl Russell.
Yeah, it was a good team effort, wasn't it? They were well spread here this afternoon, and everyone has contributed. Let's have a look. We've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 goal kickers for the Mottawarri side, and well, that was the difference really at the end of the day. They just wanted the football a bit more committed to the contest, and again, congratulations to the Mottawarri side. And here he is, the happiest man in the world at the moment. Looky, looky, here comes Cookie. And I'm sure that yours sake, David Cook, you'd love to have a chat to him.
Well, I don't mind talking to a bloke with a great name like David Cook. Couldn't think of anything better to do.
Well done, mate.
As he comes up and shakes the hand of Tassie Hodson. Taz, you might just
Yeah,
Cookie your
mine.
headphones. Thanks, mate. As here comes Cookie coming in to sit down next to another great bloke, David Cook. Self-confessed, right?
Self-confessed again.
Okay. Now, first question.
Thanks, Barney.
Congratulations. I already shook his hand when I was out there earlier. First question to you, Cookie. How close were you to playing?
Oh, never really a chance. You know, the league just hasn't come up, so we were out there to win, and we had to play our best 20 and fittest 20, and you know, it paid off today.
I think it did, because Bannockburn brought in 3 players who didn't play in the second semi against you. They were Chris Horney, was it Horney Blow?
Horney Blow,
Henderson, and Matty Pilgrim. 3 very good players, but they all looked well and truly short of the gallop, and they all looked as though they weren't quite fit to me. So perhaps picking the fittest 20 is the best way to go, rather than pick the names.
Oh yeah, it was today. You know, after that first quarter, we sort of hit them pretty hard early, and I think they had probably half a dozen blokes that were a bit sore there. So, you know, they were limping around, and we knew that if we just kept the pressure on and played the team game in the way we did, we'd take it off.
Dale McGuinness, his entry to the ground, an exciting one and an inspirational one, David.
Well, did he get done? He was. He's a very fiery little player, and
He wanted to win the game, didn't he?
oh, he did change the game for us. I think he just gives that added spark, and he lifts blokes. You know, when they come around, when they see a bloke like him come on and do some fiery little
He
work.
certainly lifted Butch Shaw there for a minute.
Well, he's only a little bloke, isn't he? He's only a little bloke, and
He is,
he's
yeah.
got a harder goal, hasn't he? And
Oh, my earth, he is.
I was very impressed with his performance, because in the end, the upshot of the whole thing was Bannockburn were trying to get him rather than win the game, and that cost them dearly.
Yes, it did. Yeah, I agree with you. You know, it's, as I said, he's a fiery little bloke, and when he goes out and does some of the things, they like to chase him around a bit, I think.
Okay, well, I went through last year's. I had last year's for me with me, the grand final side, the ones that were missing, one that was in. You lost Brett Bertelsmeyer, who kicked a lot of goals for you last year, but you replaced him this year with full forward Michael Wood, who, Woody has been a spare parts player basically at Mottawarri since I've been calling the footy. He responded magnificently at full forward throughout the year, and today I think he's kicked 2 goals, 4, and perhaps should have kicked a few more, but he's certainly been a focal point. He's filled that gap left by Bertelsmeyer.
Oh yeah, you know, this year he's come on and really proved himself this year. We thought that he might be heading for reserves after last year, and this year he'd come out, his attitude changed the footy. He's been really desperate at the ball, and
He's lost a lot of weight.
He has, yeah. He's been a lot fitter. He's working harder and running hard at the ball, and taking the grabs, which is more important for a forward, you know.
Probably the most pleasing thing is, I think you hit it on the head earlier, they stuck together.
Yeah.
You've been through a couple of torrid years together, and the boys stuck it out, and today you've borne the fruit. What's happening tonight?
Oh, we're sort of all heading back to Motta and sort of going to be firing up for a few
Be
hours.
pretty quiet out there tonight, Ron, you idiot. What do you think will happen tonight? You're unbelievable. They'll get drunk for about 3 days, at least.
Don't forget, 2 o'clock, Monday, Queen of the West.
2
That's
o'clock
where we'll
Monday,
be,
the Queen
mate.
of the West, yeah.
And I'll be there, and I'm going to buy you a beer.
That'd be a turn, wouldn't it?
Actually, Cookie, for those that couldn't hear us, Brain, he just said he's going to buy Cookie a Beal. I've been calling him for 4 years, never bought me one. I don't know how you get one straight away. Tassie.
How you going?
All right.
Well done, David.
Thanks,
All the
Taz.
best. I was rapt to see you win that today, I must admit. I listened to a few of the Bannockburn, there was Carl Fedke and yourself on the radio last night and a couple of weeks ago, and I thought they were a little bit cocky myself, and I said to the guys before that you worked pretty hard for it and you certainly deserved it. But what I'd like to know, what was the feeling before the game? You know, was it backs to the wall last 2 years, that sort of thing? Or?
No. That was the strange thing about it today. We just had the feeling of the desire for the footy, and I thought before the start of the game I was really confident. All the boys, just the way they were feeling, the way they dreamed themselves up, I thought that we were out there for a big go today, and I knew that if we played consistently for 4 quarters, we'd take it off. You know, the last couple of times that we played them, we had them in bursts, and then we let off for a couple, but this time we applied the pressure all game and then had our burst and we put the score on the board and it just paid off at the end. I was pretty confident.
I thought Darryl Russell I reckon he's in the top 3 players in the league, both
sure.
First Division and Second Division, and I reckon he was your best player. I said that just the way he stood up in that third quarter and the way your backline stood up in the third quarter, they weathered the storm for the first 15 minutes. And I reckon if ever you're going to win a flag, Russell will be the one who turned it on for you, and I reckon he did that day. But Ronnie Stoop was fantastic.
Yes, Ronnie Stoop is fantastic. He's a good little player and he works hard and round the packs. And as you said, Dowes, there's no doubt about him being a champion. He's been up and played GFL in the GFL Premiership, and he's just all class. And arms just sort of spring out from anywhere and takes them big grabs. And
one more question, if I can, quickly. I reckon that the thing about grand finals is, and although you lost 2, I reckon it's been a fantastic job. And I said to these guys, when you watch the game, you'll hear the comments that I reckon it was a fantastic effort to play in 3 grand finals, and I reckon you've done a great job. And I'd like to know what does the future hold now? You've done a fantastic job. There's no 2 ways about it. And I always thought that, although it fell apart at Inverleigh, I thought the thing about winning a Division 2 flag was to go into Division 1 and I personally would love to see you take that next step and improve the club. And do you think you can do that? And will you do that?
Oh yeah, well, the main thing about that is that you get everyone to stick together. It's through especially last year. We showed that we beat a lot of the first division sides, and if it was a 1 division, we would have been right up there. But so long as you keep the mainstream of players there, and we've got a lot of good young players coming up, and if we can keep that and we all stick together, which I'm pretty sure that we will, that we can push them again next year up in Division 1.
And one more thing, and I said to the guys before the game, last year you were the favourites. There's no doubt you're better than every side in the league, you're better than Eastern Suburbs, but I reckon this year you didn't have it easy. You come out to Coria that day, you had a lot of injuries and you got beat by 20 goals by some sides.
Yeah.
And over the year, you worked for everything. You didn't get nothing for nothing. You just worked for everything. I said to these guys at half time, the reason I think you'd win is because you had to learn how to do it the hard way this year. And do you think that made a difference to you?
Oh yeah, I sort of agree with that. We have had our backs to the wall. We had a lot of injuries, and we sort of, a couple of times we lost games because we were relying on blokes to come back, and when they did come back, they're not performing. But yeah, that is right. I suppose that coming back the hard way, it does make it harder. The blokes are mentally more tuned in rather than knowing that you're the favourites all year, and you do go in that little bit cocky. And finals football is all mental, I think, that you have to go out and you have to be tuned in and be right on the ball.
Well, I congratulate you because I believe that it was your efforts. I said to these guys after the game, I believe that you're the first bloke they should congratulate. And I don't care who wins flags, but I was glad you won one today.
Thanks very much, Arthur. Thanks very much.
Okay, comments from Tassie Hodson. Cookie, just one more thing. We're going to nick you off now. You can go to the rooms, have a quiet drink if you like. 2 things I thought were terrific, obviously from the bench today. Wal Pavlik kicking in was a great move because he kicked the ball 75 yards every time he put the foot into it. That was a great move. Was that a set plan? Did you work on that? But he didn't do it last week, I don't think.
No, well, as I said, team plans. The thing is, I think at this ground, especially in finals, that you have to go long. If you go long, you're always a chance to have the ball down there more often. So rather than mucking around with little chip kicks out of the back line, we just said all we want to do is go long and have our options. And
it did the job beautifully, didn't it?
Yeah, it did, yeah.
And the other one was your 2 wingers. Russell, I think, was playing on a wing, and Berryman. Obviously, your instructions were to play through those, kick it high to Russell and kick it out in front of Berryman, let him use his pace, and they both worked.
Well, you do watch the game, don't you, Cookie?
Well, I tell you what, there's me on screen. Jeez, I'm a good-looking customer. I've got a great head for radio, I can tell you. Well done, Cookie, with a name like that. There's no doubt about it. You was always going to win today, son. Congratulations.
Very much,
and if I can get a lead pass, I'll be out to have a quiet drink with you tonight.
All invited, boys. All invited. Thanks very much.
Good on you, David Cook, the successful coach of the Mottawarri Warriors for 1994, and we do thank David Cook profusely for giving us the time to have a chat, because I'm sure he's very keen to get out there and mix it with his mates that have got in there this afternoon. The Premiership coach for the 1994 season. Well, gentlemen,
not much to do now, Ronnie. We might have a look if we get the umpires back up on screen and give them a bit of a report here. Look at that man downstairs running the job. Oh, he took them off again. Just about to read them out.
There you are.
Umpires coming up once again. Hang on, said Noel Fanning. Central umpires Darren Gilmore and John Zampatti. Tassie points out of 10 as a whole, the umpires.
Actually, I said to Ronnie, I'd give him an 8 today. I reckon they did it.
I reckon 8 or 9. I don't remember too many bad decisions.
Nah, it was a good day.
It was a pretty tough game, Ronnie.
Yeah, I thought they handled themselves pretty well.
Okay, the boundary umpires Timmy Drew and Andrew Haynes in the goals. Our old mate Trevor Kramer and Mark Evans, they were pretty happy to get a medal. And Darby Munro was the emergency umpire. He was on off the ground just a little bit now and again.
Kept very busy, the Darby.
Okay.
Alrighty, Noel Fanning downstairs. Anything more to add to a very fine production here today?
Just like to thank the guest video production crew, mate, of Ron Brain and yourself, Ronnie Brain, David Cook and Arthur Hodgson for their comments. Fantastic. Good call, fellas. Our cameraman Brett Revere, Sean Cannon, and of course Robert Watson. And of course downstairs here pulling all the buttons. Myself, Noel Fanning. Now, if we
better you than me, Fano.
Get a shot of our number one cameraman there, Sean Cannon, to see how he looks, Brett. Just to see how he looks after a heavy night, and he's got another heavy.
Geez, he looks better than he did when I got here quarter time of the seconds.
Another great job, guys, and 1 down, 4 to go. So, yeah, thanks for another great guest video production. Hope you've enjoyed the call as much as what we have in bringing it to you today. And again, special comments about Tassie. Thanks very much for your help.
Pleasure.
After half time.
And the final scores in the GDFL Division 2 Senior Grand Final for 1994. Guest video scoreboard showed Bannockburn 4 goals, 10-34 points on the board. Mottawarri amassed 15-18-108. It was a landslide win for Mottawarri, and they go into Division 1 for next year. And Ronnie, I thank you for your company.
Mate, Cookie, it's been a pleasure. And it's been a great season of GDFL Division 2 football for the 1994 season. Ronnie Brain signing off for guest video.